Welcome to our awful review for the Automatron DLC for Fallout 4. So I want to get straight into it and say that I like the DLC. It's a good piece of DLC. It's kind of, you get the best of both worlds really. You've got your story content in the actual quest for the Mechanist, and you have the building component in the robot workshop section. So really, you're getting two new things for your Fallout game for the price of one, basically. Which can lead me on kind of to our next point of, what I hate is it worth it? And yes, of course it's worth it. Kind of, if you don't want to pay or don't think it's worth the retail price, then don't buy it. Like, the price is never going to change. So if you want the DLC, you're going to have to pay for it. If you don't like the price, then you don't pay for it and you can't have it. Kind of, the idea of like, is something worth the price is kind of irrelevant, and I don't really like it. So yes, it's a good DLC, go and buy it if you want to play it. And next is, do you need a certain kind of character to play this DLC? And of course not, of course you don't. Any DLC, you can play it with any type of character. For me, on my Let's Play, which is on our channel, I played through at level 15, which is the minimum requirement for this DLC. I was also a melee character, and I was playing on survival difficulty, which is probably the worst character setup for this DLC. We had very low intelligence, no skills in science or technology, no real building perks whatsoever. Was it difficult? Yes, it most certainly was. But was it any less fun? No. It was perfectly enjoyable, and I had an awful lot of fun playing through this DLC. So, well, certainly if you have a character who's good with energy weapons and has high intelligence with hacking and lockpicking, this DLC might be easier for you, but you certainly don't need to create a whole new character specially specialed up and geared up towards this DLC. And the story of the DLC, the whole Mechanist plotline, it's pretty good. As I said, I had a lot of fun playing through this DLC. It's a good handful of hours that I sunk into this, primarily because I was dying all the time because it was difficult. But the story was good. I had a lot of fun trying to find out who the Mechanist was, trying to find out why they were doing what they were doing. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. And I think it was good. It wasn't the deepest plot ever. There weren't too many twists and turns, or I didn't find out at the end anything that I didn't know beforehand. And maybe the final confrontation with the Mechanist is a little bit, I don't know what to say really, a little bit repetitive over and over. You face wave after wave of enemies, which you could say is a little bit cheap, but it was decent. It was alright. All in all, the Mechanist DLC kind of gave me everything I wanted and everything I was expecting from this kind of initial, smaller scale DLC. It gave me a good, fun storyline that I was able to sink a good number of hours into. It gave me a great new building feature for my settlements, which is actually really quite deep. And it was definitely worth buying. So all in all, I think this is a pretty good first DLC for Bethesda to release, really. So I would definitely recommend you going out and getting it for yourselves.